Troy? Troy, is that you? Susie? Susie? I miss you, Troy. Are you wearing pants, Troy?
I just want to play a game with you.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivolo. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful week of Haunt Hour. My name is Dan. I'm here with Troy, Tex-Mex Crivolo, and Susie. I'm married to a different Troy. Please say.
Thank God I am. My Troy isn't quite as embarrassing, but you know.
Well, give or take. Troy, what? Are you still in Texas?
I probably should. You know what? I'm so much in Texas, I didn't turn my microphone up. I just flew in. Boy, are my arms tired. I got some dad jokes there in Texas. I brought them back with me. My wife would totally agree with you, Susie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We have to deal with what we're dealt, and we're dealt with Cowboy Troy.
Cowboy Troy.
Cowboy.
He took my name, by the way. That rapper. That was mine. Whatever.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Yep.
So funny. So what's new, guys? It's been a week. Susie, your computer's working again?
And my computer's definitely working. Yeah. I'm glad you came to me first, because I have a feeling that after you go to Troy, nobody's going to be able to talk, because look at his face. He's so excited. He's like really like busting.
Yeah.
Are you done? Are
you done yet?
Are you done talking yet? Are you done talking yet?
We're gonna have to mute Troy because
we might. We might.
I mean,
okay, you have 2 minutes. Go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on, Troy.
Give me a couple more. Give me a couple more. Okay, so what's new?
How's the hunt coming?
Things are going good. We had a photo shoot on Saturday, so that was fun. And
marketing photo shoot?
Yeah, marketing photo shoot.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did release my calendar last Friday.
And
it has not gone viral, which that's
Really?
a little bit disappointing, but I don't know. I mean, it did in 2019, it did in 2020. It hasn't now. But again, it's a free, you didn't pay.
But you also
anything.
released it early this year,
I
right?
did release it early, yeah, but I stuck with the Friday. So it could be that it was early. It could be many other things. It climbs. There's like 350 shares on it. I think my post reaches at like 35,000 people at this point, but which isn't bad. I'm not complaining at all, because it's I haven't paid for that ad. So yeah, it's slowly getting there, but it is not viral, which, like I said, a little bit disappointing, but
that's okay.
Those are pictures I actually took. Those are all photos I took. The girl that does my calendar put that together this year, and that's my daughter.
Do you use a haunt vendor for your website, or do you use somebody non-Halloween related?
That's a hilarious question that you need to ask somebody else. And I'm talking to like two techie guys that that's a question I should know the answer to, but like this is something I do not mess with anything online at all. I mean, I do. I do all the marketing, but I do not mess with the website.
Do you know who made your logo? Because it looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, you think? Who do you think made it?
I know the guy.
Take one guess.
Savage.
Yeah. He did all of our logos, actually.
Savage logo.
Chad Savage is amazing. I love his work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had him do this. We had him do the Escape Crawford, and we had him do Crawford axe throwing as well. And so they all look the same. They all have the same Crawford written the same way and the same color scheme. Yeah, it's real good.
Nice.
Yes. So I do know the answer to that question, but I
don't even care that they look like you can tell that it's his work.
Because we know that
it's his work, and it's because the logos are awesome.
Yes.
So I don't even care that you can tell that it's his work. I mean, that's a good thing,
Yeah.
But I mean, he's fantastic.
The funny thing about the logo is when we get shirts printed that are like actually color and not just black and white. Oh my God, there's like 7 colors in that logo, and the t-shirt places are like, they're going to be, $25 a piece. And I'm like, what? How do we sell these? But we do black and whites for the public, and anybody that wears colors, usually an employee, because it's expensive to get them made, but
Right.
I love the logo and I wouldn't change it. But our first
Right.
logo was pretty crappy. So,
Oh, well, live and learn. You're moving on.
you do. But,
Anything else happening that's new and exciting?
there's lots of new exciting things that nobody wants to hear about in my life. But it's so funny because like anybody that's watching this, like I have so many things in my life going on that like, oh my gosh, like if nobody knows, I do nails and I just worked a 12-hour day and I'm completely exhausted. I have no idea why I had 12-hour day today. And I don't. I usually don't work this long on a Tuesday. And I've been doing nails for so long that I know better. But yeah. So, but I have the day off tomorrow. So I'm going to go thrifting and try to find some nice costume pieces. So that's fun.
There you go.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So,
All right. Look
so
at
before we push over to Troy, because I think we're going to have like way too much time to talk about this. I have been putting this off, but I wanted to tell you a story. So it's story time right now.
Story time with Dan.
I came home. This was last week when it was like 90 degrees outside. And I've been putting off. I have a box here with like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 different scents from Sinister Scents. SinisterScents.com. Yeah, that's that plug right there. But I have them all. They're all, if you can see, they're sealed, and then they're sealed in a Ziploc bag. So
you can still smell them.
You can still smell them, but you have to put your nose up to them. Well, it was like 90 degrees. What was it, last week or a week and a half ago? And I came home, and the whole house smelled like fucking cotton candy.
That's not a bad thing.
No, and this is the sunroom. So this is in the back. Where I'm at right now is in the back portion of the house, and our house is pretty big. So we're probably, I don't know, 30 yards is the other corner of the house. And I walked in through the garage. I'm like, what the hell? It smells like fucking cotton candy. It smells like a freaking fair in here. Like, it smells good. I'm like, but I instantly knew once I walked through the living room and into the kitchen, because the kitchen is the way we can get into this room here. I walked in the kitchen like, oh no, somebody got into the fucking scents. So I came in here, and the box is still here, and everything was in its thing except the cotton candy, which was sitting on the desk open. And for like 4 days, I kid you not, I cleaned that thing out. It smelled like a freaking zoo in here, and still none of my kids have admitted to doing it. So anybody out there that's looking for cotton candy or any other scents
that lasts for 4 days in a house.
Well, yeah, and that's just like, look at these little packets.
Are there some gross scents? Like, at least they didn't open up like the raw sewage and leave that one out, right?
I mean, you probably shouldn't take those to the airport. You'd probably be accused of something, but
Well, there's one that's called Just Bad.
Bad.
It is just bad. It's repulsive. I don't know. Like these, if you guys have been in the industry long enough, Sinister Scents like was one of the originators, if not the originator of the scents. And I got, it was probably now 11 years ago when we did this. I bought a smell called 10 Babies in a Dumpster.
Oh, that's like Prom Night Dumpster Baby. What show's that on?
I don't know, but it was
Baby.
They were it was
Family Guy?
Or 16 growing, or I don't know.
It was something totally repulsive.
That is
oh my god,
horrifying.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they don't have it. It's called Just Bad now, but it's at least I think that's what it's called. So Ken Spriggs, if you're watching, if the dead baby in the dumpster is the same as Just Bad, just let me know, because that's what it is. But one of these days,
marketing would be hard for 10 babies in a
I
dumpster.
would
you're gonna get, that what is that called? Any marketing is good marketing or something like that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but I don't know.
Good luck finding a store to carry those.
That's why they just
right.
Just bad now. But I have to find time to go through all these and smell them all and watch my face fall off.
That could be a video unto itself. I like that idea.
You guys are looking for it at SinisterSense.com. So that is my story today. And that is all I have today. But Troy, I'm going to pass the mic to you.
Here we go.
This way.
All right. Yeah. So this weekend, I hung out in my backyard. I mowed the lawn. I
Oh
cleaned
my
the pool
God.
and
There you go.
had some Mai Tais. It was fantastic.
Wonderful.
I
Great.
talked to Rob Beach for a little bit from Chicago Haunt Bills. We had some Mai Tais over the phone. It was great. So so is that all you guys did all this last week?
What about you were in Texas for a minute, weren't you?
Yeah. Where'd you get that hat?
Oh, well, I mean, I went there and then, but it was because I was flying to another place and then it was just a layover. It was a layover, but it was a long one. And they had this thing going on in Mesquite next to this rodeo. And it was this Texas
Hunters, the Texas Hunters.
I think it was, oh, there it is.
There it is.
The Texas Haunters Convention. Yeah. So this was held at the Mesquite or in Mesquite at the Hampton Inn there. And this was as the show floor was getting made up here.
Right. So for those of people that haven't been on planet Earth for the last like 3 weeks to a month, where everybody's talking about this show, what is the Texas Haunters Convention and where is it at? Oh, who's that ugly boy?
Look, Yard Haunter 5. It is a home haunt, pro haunt, Halloween enthusiast show. It was created a couple years ago. This is their third year going on, and there's lots of pictures of me in here and other haunters. That's a haunt tour bus. What? And they created it after another show did not come to fruition, and as you saw a couple weeks ago, we had the creators of it on here, and what they did with that show was beyond all of my expectations. They said all the things they were going to do, and they lived by everything they said in that video. Somewhere in that video, he says something about you can hold me to it and come back to it. I will find that part. I was trying to find it before we started, and I couldn't find it. But whatever it is he said, yes, he did. He did hold to it. The show, we went to Dark Hour on Friday and Moxley Manor. And as everybody knows, Dark Hour is an amazing haunted house. Moxley Manor is really good. And the show itself was packed full of a ton of different types of Halloween and haunt vendors. There was everything from purses to masks to fog to costumes, t-shirts and weapons, rusting stuff, makeup. It was literally almost everything minus like a big general prop company, that you could buy a bunch of different props and stuff from. But everything else you would need plus things for your house. I'll put it this way. There were some vendors that had to go home Saturday night to make more product.
Wow.
Because they didn't bring enough.
It was like cash and carry. There's a lot of cash and carry here.
Yes, it was 100% cash and carry.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's a full hour right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now this was about I'm trying to see about what time. This was probably about 10 a.m. in the morning on Saturday.
Okay.
I can tell you by noon, some of these vendors had sold over half of their products. 916 Rust sold their booth in 45 minutes, the entire booth. Mind Trap Creations from that's Bill and Melissa Bornder from Illinois. Okay. They sold basically everything out of their booth the first day. They had some stuff left in the afternoon on Sunday that they sold, but everything either had a sold sign on it or it was sold by the end of the day. Every vendor I talked to said that they did an amazing weekend. CFX Masks did really well. Missing Fingers sold a lot of stuff. Even the vendors that had like you see the bags in there and stuff like that, and t-shirts and this horror stuff on the side there, even they sold quite a bit amount of stuff. So everybody was successful. Every attendee I talked to said they felt like they were at home. They felt like it was so welcoming. It was easy to come in and out. It was easy to find out where you needed to go, what you needed to pick up. They had booths set up in the front to pick everything up. another comment down below on this, but I will talk. For Angie, for a Halloween vendor fair, that's kind of what I would consider these as. But also, you could also say that some of the Comic Cons, and they're like another one in Texas called the Texas Frightmare Weekend. It's more horror related. There's a Crypticon in Kansas City and Seattle. They mix horror and Halloween together. And they maybe go a little more to the Etsy side and creator fair type stuff than these shows do. Texas Hunters is trying to do both. As you can see, there are people that are selling art prints and stuff like that as well. They're not going to turn down a vendor unless you sell Easter stuff.
It's like the cosplay meets haunted house. It is bridging the gap. It's exactly what Haunt Collective has been trying to do for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
it's bridging the gap.
And as you can tell, these aisles were much wider. And most of that is because this was set up similar with the COVID rules in mind, because at the time they're setting everything up and giving the plans out to the people who set up the booths, it was still COVID. And so that's, but some of the aisles were tighter. But everything I heard about this show from people that are walking around it, nobody left without a smile. I have never, Sean Mills down there below said he spent way too much money. I had to go upstairs to my room 3 different times that weekend to take stuff back up to my room. I have never spent that much at a haunt convention ever.
How did you get it all home?
So I brought a much bigger bag, and I loosely packed when I left. I brought a much bigger bag because I was getting and now that Ashley has seen it, I was getting one of the famous bubblers from Goth Gloom Prop Productions.
Oh, I love those things.
Yeah. One was made for me and Ashley, and I knew that I was picking it up there. So I brought a suitcase where the other side was completely empty. About halfway through, it was about Sunday morning, I had looked at my bag and looked at what I had already bought. And I said, wait a minute, I checked that bag and I don't have a carry-on. So all of a sudden, it was in Texas, Angie, Mesquite, Texas. And I knew that I could put that bubbler in the carry-on, which made it safer to take home. And it allowed me to open up all that more room in my suitcase.
And you could just buy more shit.
I went right back down to Missing Finger Productions because I had bought one of his awesome, now limited edition pumpkin skulls.
Wait, check it out.
Yeah, I want to say.
Do you have one too?
That's so cool.
Yeah, I got mine the first year he was out. Many moons ago.
I got a translucent one of these that I'm going to put a flicker flame inside of.
That one's badass. I haven't seen those.
I went back down to him and I said, Kevin, I opened up room in my suitcase. I need more. So yes, my suitcase, I think when I went there, it was like 10 pounds. And when I left, it was like 35 pounds. A lot of that was shirts, but there was skulls. And I was kind of hoping it was going to get to 50 because that was, I was like, yeah, let's get it to 49 and a half.
Yeah.
But the way that the staff runs this thing is just fantastic. A bunch of them are home haunters, and some of them been in the industry with other parts of the industry, and they did it with everybody in mind and not themselves. Michael Skalberg is there. He's one of them. I think he filled a 5-gallon bucket of sweat because he was running around helping people the entire time. Even though it was very cold in that it was 97 degrees outside and humid as crap, but it was nice and cool. There were people with blankets. People had blankets on them because it was so cool in there, and they promised air conditioning and they delivered.
Adam Lane has a question.
Oh yes.
Not to get you all fired up here, but I want you to read it. It says, hey guys, Troy, do you see this having the means into growing into a larger con with bigger prop, animatronic, mask, costume, facades type businesses?
I definitely believe so. I know that expansion is already on the table. They had, I don't remember. So you'll see once I go back to the pictures, I should have done this. So you see all this area with all the tables and chairs.
Yeah.
Another convention was next door, and it was a cat convention.
Oh, cats.
Let's just say the rooms smelled like cat Yeah. But so they kind of undercut during the COVID crap and all that. They kind of undercut the hotel and grabbed the space that they were going to put the costume ball in. So they had to put the costume ball here for just this year. But next year, that entire thing will be full of vendors. So they already have this is a 35,000 square foot space. They have the option to go into the other ballroom next year and stuff like that. They only want to expand, but obviously within the means. But with how
big is this space?
This is a 35,000 square foot space, just where they had the vendor floor. They also had the classes down the hall. And they have made the promise, at least for the foreseeable future, that they will not go to a place that does union fees, because we all hate that as vendors. So this was very easy. As you can see, the two giant doors that people were able to load in and out of. It was very easy to load in and out. And it was very accessible to walk around in there. But there were vendors that were messaging me while I was there asking me, how's it going? And I was telling them what was going on. And they were like, I need to talk to some of those vendors because I think I need to go. And they were missing out. There was a lot of FOMO this weekend from attendees and vendors.
This is the first time that I've had FOMO from a convention in, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
one of my things that I'm trying to do for myself is I need to go to every show, because I can't sit there and say this show's better than this and I'll never go to these shows, blah, blah, blah. I can't say that all these shows are great because I haven't been to Transworld yet and I haven't been to Midsummer Scream. Those are on my list. I will go to those.
You have not been to Transworld ever?
No, but my wife went before I did.
I thought for some reason you went 2 or 3 years ago.
No,
I've never been. I thought you went too.
Nope, I've only been to MHC a couple times. And then HauntCon and West Coast and now Texas.
Okay.
So, you know, I firmly believe that at least attendees need to go to every show. I would love it if every vendor went, and I know that's not possible. But there were a few vendors, like I said, that were missing from this, and you kind of brought it up, Adam, about the bigger props, animatronics, some facade businesses. I know there's one that does the vacuum form panels, as you can kind of see him over there in the far right corner of that picture. That was somebody that was a photo op, so it was already purchased.
So do you think, and I don't know if this is, and Adam, correct me if you're wrong, because you can respond in the comments. Do you think that, I think what Adam's trying to ask is it somewhere where a costume company like, you know, Dark Stitches or Adam's company or somebody that's a bigger vendor that doesn't necessarily feel the need to go to one of these shows? Do you think it's something where there'd be enough buyers there that would make it worth his while to show up? Like, is it haunters? Is it Halloween enthusiasts? What would you say the majority of people were there that were there?
I would say the majority were haunters. I would say it was probably maybe about 20% haunt owners, like, and their builders and actors and things like that were there walking around. Probably about 50 to 60% of it being home haunters and display people. And then the rest are just kind of, you know, Halloween people and probably a few cat people. But the thing that I would say is, obviously, don't bring your Transworld set. Don't bring your Transworld props. No. Those are not going to sell. This is not one of those shows. And there isn't a show that is Transworld like. So don't bring that stuff. And you as a vendor know what you can bring. So yes, bring your cash and carry stuff, bring some of your scratch and dent stuff, but also like Dark Stitches and stuff like that. There was only one costume company that was there, and it was more of the steampunky type stuff. So there is room for that. There was not, there was one makeup company. So there's room for that. Props, absolutely, there's room for that. Facades, you know, there's definitely room for all of those companies there, but don't go along and bring $80,000 worth of stuff and expect to sell $100,000, you know? You know, base it as a smaller show, an MHC style show, but there were comments made that this show will be much bigger. And the comments that I heard from vendors and from attendees was nothing but positive, and that they wanted to see more things. They wanted to see everybody grow, and people were walking out of there with carloads of stuff and
that's
worrying about shipping. You know, how am I going to ship this stuff home? So
See, that's what I miss about like when Transworld's the show I go to. It's the only show I
Yeah.
go to. And if we're going to, we're talking about a costume, let's say a costume company. If I go and I see a costume that I like, that costume that's on that mannequin's already sold, do I want to order it? Because I might need to get my actor into it and make sure, because I've already started my meetings. I mean, we do actor meetings early in the summer and we try to get everybody's, characters. Like, I can't wait until the end of August for a costume. So a show like this where I can go and I can grab all kinds of stuff, cash and carry, and take it home with me is very appealing to me, even as a pro haunt owner. I would love to go and just say, I love that costume. Do you have it? And they not have to say, yeah, it's, it's going to take till you'll get it at the end of August or whatever. So I think that there's definitely a need for that at other shows, and especially Transworld, because I don't necessarily go for big, giant, huge props. I also go for smaller things. And when I go and that stuff is like already sold, I'd have to order it. And that's my other question, Troy. What did they do when they were sold out of things and they had nothing to show? Or did they keep one of everything? Like, how'd that work?
So what this is Mind Trap Creations. He sold almost all of these weapons. By the end, I believe the wall was empty, if not for only a couple. And a couple of the actors were this big cone-shaped one here, this big wedge. That was given that an actor bought it and then walked around the convention floor with it. And people asked him where he got it from. But once they were done selling, they sold it, but they left it up. And then, yes, he took orders for all these skulls. Everything on this table over here was all sold. So, but he can make them. So he gave them his business card and said, I can make it and ship it to you. There were some vendors who said, hey, I've got free shipping on my website right in the booth. So, hey, if you don't have the money for it right now, or you don't want to take it home with you, you can buy it right there at the booth, or you can, go on his website later. The majority of this was meant to be cash and carry and less ordering, but I'm sure that other people had orders that were taken afterwards. I know 916 Rust sold a lot of their physical product, and they did take orders for more. So if you are a vendor, and I think every vendor should at least have some sort of order form just in case, because you want to hopefully sell everything. So that you have to take orders on Sunday or something like that. As a vendor, that's a great thing. For an attendee, like you said, if there's nothing there to see, I'm not going to know what to order from you. So there's a learning curve. So like Bill knows now, he's got some things to take back from this show that he's going to incorporate in his next shows about how he's going to market what he's got. He may bring 3 of those weapons and keep one on the shelf the whole time and say, yeah, you can have that one on Sunday night.
Right.
And the other thing about this show is the cost. It was $100 for VIP, which got you costume ball, all the goodies, and got you into the got you into the classes. The make and takes were extra, as well as the haunt tour. Haunt tour was $50, and that was for Dark Hour and Moxley.
That's a great deal right there.
Yeah, that
right.
is.
I mean, $150.
And that was a bus ride. You got on the bus?
That was with the bus and getting into both haunts.
You get to sit with Troy.
Yeah, right. Our section was the coolest in the bus, just letting you know. But like going through Dark Hour and having Alan Hops, walk you through Dark Hour and letting you see it all. The word I walked up to him with was that when you walk through Dark Hour and with lights on and you get Alan to talk to you about it, you see pride in that haunt. And it's in every turn, everything you're looking at, everybody that is in there is just so. I want to shift gears
because we're going to run out of time. We got to talk. We got to talk about Jennifer. But I want to ask one more thing. The costume ball. 2 questions. 2-part question. First of all, it was a band, not a DJ.
No.
I want to know your thoughts on that.
Both.
And then the second question is, how many people were in costume versus how many people were not?
Okay. So how they did it was 7:00. The costume started, the ball started, and they had a costume contest as well. The kids' costume contest was during the day, but the adult was at night. So they did that, and the DJ was playing from 7 to 10:00. So you had a DJ playing all types of music. when when Wilbur finally came down, I didn't go to the costume ball. Wilbur went to the costume ball.
Got it.
And he's pretty shitty. And with his friends, they were all dressed up as well. Wilbur said that probably half of the people there had some sort of a costume on. Whether it was people from the vendors that had their costumes on or their characters, haunt actors were there. I would say it was about a 50% mix.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And then 10 o'clock, the band came on till about 11:15. And the band was kind of a, I don't even know the genre, but they're marquee of vaudeville.
It was a very gothic type.
Yeah, it was a gothic, but upbeat too. So it was kind of like rockabilly and gothic type of mix.
Rockabilly is a very good way to say it. Yep.
Yeah. And so that was really cool. So some people left and some people stayed on the floor and watched the concert. I mean, it was a full-on concert. So that was kind of cool that you were able to do two different types of shows. Basically, you were able to dance to the DJ, have a good time, drink some drinks, have some food, whatever, and then you got to see a band if you wanted to. And so that unique unto itself, so the show really looked to be different and to cater to everybody that was there. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway to me was that the personal touch of everything about that show.
Do you think they can keep the personal touch if they grow?
Yes. Because the people that are running it, I really do. Okay. Because they keep themselves in check and they have people like me calling them up and going, "Hey,
oh my God, Troy.
we need to have a conversation, Michael Skalberg. Those are big britches you're wearing, buddy. Even for Texas, those are big britches."
All right, somebody needs to shut your britches off.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so I thank you for the words of wisdom from the Texas Honor Convention. I'm gonna have to say I'm probably gonna go next year.
Yeah, I think we have to.
I'm still excited about it.
Yeah,
you
I loved when I used to go to like old MHC. We're talking 8 years ago, like when it was this humongous party. Like it was just ridiculous, and like you go there, like we would drive. It's like 8 hours. We would drive nonstop, get there, not sleep, party, and then like we would be driving home at 6 a.m. to get home because it's an 8-hour drive. Get home at a reasonable time, and you just don't sleep. Like it's just so much fun. And then you get home, you're like, "Oh, it was so awesome! Can't wait." Talk about everything, and then you have to go back to work,
and you crash.
Reality sets in, and you're like, "Son of a bitch! I wish I could go there and just go to the convention for the rest of your life." Well, it is what it is. So, anyway, what are we doing tonight? We're talking to Jennifer. Is it Corcoran? How does she pronounce her last name?
That was the one thing I didn't because I had to ask Susie how to say her last name, Flasukukek, and so I got that right. So we're good on that.
Perfect.
I'm gonna say Corcoran.
Okay. Well, we're
wait. How do you spell it? I'm gonna do a test.
It's Corcoran.
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 I wonder if any of us are even close.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Well, I'm gonna give her a call right now. She's having technical difficulties, so we're gonna go via phone.
Yep.
So bear with me here. We'll see if we can get her on the line here.
Caller number 4.
The next contestant.
Susie was right. It's Corcoran.
What do I get? Woo!
All right.
Yeah, I butchered it. Troy, I don't even know what he did.
He doesn't know how to say
I was cringing the whole time.
I know. I could have. Yeah.
I was saying it with a French accent.
It's an Irish name, so that's close.
There you go.
There
I was close. A hop, skip, and a jump. We're there.
Jennifer, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. We have you on tonight. We wanted to talk to you about your Halloween decor club or decorator club.
The Halloween decorating club.
That's it. See, I butcher everything. That's why we just let Troy talk all night.
Let me talk. Just let me talk. I'm the one that can
there it
say
is.
everything right.
There it is, Susie. What's going on
My
tonight,
show.
Susie?
My show.
Done and done.
Man, train wreck.
So, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on and what's going on with Halloween. I'm assuming it's more than just the month of October.
It's people started in April, I think, getting their plan together for the holidays. I have the Halloween Decorating Club, and then I also have the 12-foot Skeleton Halloween Club.
Oh, that's fun.
And and I started them last year, and we were actually a part of Home Depot's media preview event, which was really exciting.
Oh,
We got
really?
a sneak peek to everything they were releasing.
That's fun.
So that was a lot of fun, and it was nice to have kind of a heads up so you could put together your list of what you want to buy before the site goes live.
That's cool. So what
that one's not mine. That's somebody else's.
That's not yours?
It's 12 hyphen.
Oh,
yeah.
don't go to that one. Don't go to that one.
somebody-
Go to Jennifer.
That one's a copycat. We've got to
Copycat.
submit that one.
Rude.
Somebody submit that one.
Ah,
So
Listen.
what made you do this? What made you create the Halloween Decorating Club?
The Halloween Decorating Club came about 6 months after the 12-foot Skeleton Club, and I had never belonged to any of these Halloween groups until late last summer. And one of my friends sent me the skeleton, and I was like, I think I'll buy it. And a couple people had kind of commented, somebody should start a group for us. And I was like, well, we'll have at least 2 people. I'll create it now. And it's just grown from there. We were in the Washington Post. Facebook used this for an ad, so there's been a lot of exciting stuff with it.
Wow, that's impressive.
Uh-huh.
That stuff that you jumped out and offered to people, or somebody just found it and
They reached out to us for the Facebook ad in a local Nashville page. Somebody posted a skeleton. I'm like, hey, join our group. And one of the companies that does marketing for Facebook reached out to me from there. And then we did a post in the group. People submitted pictures for the ad, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. I remember that. I forgot about that. Yeah. So when I'm just so excited that Home Depot got to you and was like, hey, you're a Halloween person, instead of it being just a bunch of media people and mucky mucks, that it was a haunter, a Halloween person saying, hey, we love your stuff. How did they come to you?
They're in the group.
Oh,
I had reached out to a couple people, searching names through articles and stuff, and they were actually already in the group. And then they reached out a month or 2 ago, and they're like, we love the group, we love what you do. Do you and 2 others want to be a part of our media preview event? So we, me, Will, and Randy each did a little video that they used during the preview event. But they're a big fan of the group, and that they wanted to give us heads up of what's going on. So it was really cool of them.
that is awesome.
What is it? What do you have to be? Let's see if I can explain this. I'm trying to explain it. If I were a home haunter, would I be allowed in this group, or is it just for people that buy like the decor and put it up, or is there creating prop building? Is there stuff in this, or is this really just for the people that buy the inflatables and buy the lights and the skeletons and stuff like that? Is that the type of group? Like, how do I fit in here if I'm a haunter that builds my own one-offs?
To get into the preview event?
No, for the Halloween Decorating Club.
For the Halloween stuff. Really, if you're a haunter, you could definitely buy the product. The 12-foot skeleton, of course, was the big hit. They've got the 12-foot Inferno skeleton. Each year, they're really stepping their game up as far as products and items that they have. And now we have a lot of haunts that are in the group, and they use a lot of the products in their haunts.
So anybody can join the Halloween Decorating Club, though.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Good, because
But you would prefer that people only that have the 12-foot skeleton join the 12-foot skeleton group.
Oh no, like anyone can join.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah, so it's open. It's open to everyone.
okay, awesome.
You know, there's some people in it who just like to see the pictures, and that's perfectly okay.
Right. So what was it like going to this media preview? Like, what did they have you do and all that?
Well, we had to shoot a little video beforehand, and just kind of talking about what we do, and then you ask a question, and throughout the preview they pause it, and one of us would pop up on the screen, ask our questions, and they'd answer the questions, then go on to the next batch of props.
Awesome. So they let you just see each prop and then make comments and stuff like that. That's
you can ask questions throughout, and then after each section they'll go back to the questions and answer them.
Oh, okay. Do you think that they're gonna did they make any mention of allowing? Because have they ever done this in person? Because I know obviously with COVID there's all kinds of things going weird, but did they ever do it in person?
I think it used to be in New York. I think that the past 2 years, because of COVID, they did it online. But before that, I believe it was in New York.
So let's hope next year you can go to New York and then you can see it.
Hopefully.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it really would.
By the way, I still can't find this Halloween Celtic cross, so I'm hoping it's at the store because I want one. I did not see it online.
I'll keep an eye out for you.
Nice.
So with this early access, Jennifer, do you find yourself overindulging on your prop buying?
Yes, I didn't go too overboard this time. There was kind of a delay with the release, so when it started dropping live, I was actually messaging a lot of people that were looking for certain items that were a limited release. And I thought I had a little bit more time to get some orders in, but I did get another 12-foot skeleton and then the 12-foot Inferno skeleton. But I definitely have some things still on my wish list. And everything looks better live than just in the pictures.
Of course, yeah.
It really looks good live.
Yeah,
It's
while
incredible.
I was at the convention, we were looking while we were at the convention, and there were people at the convention buying stuff from Home Depot in their hotel rooms at night because they were like, "Well, we'll buy from there too." Tiffany Scalberg is another one of the people that works for the convention, and she actually bought the man-eating plant while she was there because she's like, I have to have it. They have a spot just for that prop that's perfect. And I mean, the pricing. What I noticed was, you've got your Inferno guy for $350, and everybody knows that. But the other items were much more reasonably priced than I expected. Did they talk about pricing or anything like that in the preview?
Wait, I'd had a conversation with them about it when there was kind of a little bit of a glitch. I think it was in June where people were able to order the 12-foot skeleton again.
Oh,
and I sent an email and got a call back, and they were saying that they wanted to keep it affordable so more people will be able to buy everything.
Yeah.
Like I
noticed a lot of the pumpkins were very, and they have lights in them, or this one has lights behind like an acrylic, so you can see it's kind of got like a flame behind it. And I mean, for $40, these twins, these are coming home with me.
I love those.
They're probably going to sit on my front door probably all year.
They're really cute.
These are awesome, guys. They were on the website. I did see those. I had to wait till I got my paycheck today to know if I could buy them. Plus, I don't know what I spent at the convention because I never asked for a receipt.
Ladies and gentlemen, a real live giant baby right here, Troy.
Oh, I am.
We're actually both.
He's like,
man gods.
I know.
But I mean, these things, these are 12-inch pumpkins with the flame lights inside for $20.
That's
People are going to eat those up.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Those are really cool.
And they added timers to a lot of them, which I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to do at night is go outside and start turning everything off. So like when I saw timers, I got really excited on that one.
Oh, see, I swear. I mean, you said that they're in the group, and I swear that
rotted. Yeah.
You know, like a company like Home Depot, where you know we've had the issues with Spirit in the past, and somebody down there on there said, you know, HD putting Spirit to shame. You know, we've known for a long time that Spirit goes to Transworld. You know, they probably go to MHC, and they're lurking in all the groups. And they're probably taking our ideas because a couple years later, you'll see something that somebody made, you know, where Home Depot seems to more be listening to what we want and listening to us. And, you know, yeah, maybe taking a couple of designs and doing some things with them. But it seems that they're buying from somebody like, it's almost like they're buying from haunters. It's just, you know, they keep getting better and better every year. And it's things that we want. I mean, it's like their Alexa.
It kind of makes you wonder, who does Home Depot have working for them on the sidelines? Because it's got to be one of us. I mean, it has to be. There's rotted pumpkins. Like, I don't think anybody, I don't know. I just don't see regular people saying, oh, I really want a rotted, like
a suit with a tie on going, you know, rotted pumpkins are where to go this year. I think it is, you know. I just don't see that. So I think you might be right. There's
somebody on the inside that's probably like not allowed to say, maybe well, I mean, they're just like,
can you imagine the guy who walked into the boardroom and said, here's my idea. We're going to make a giant skeleton of a horse and we're going to sell it for $300.
Yes.
And everybody's going to buy it. I swear everybody's going to buy it. You know, he was laughed out of the room.
You just laughed out of the room.
They're like, no, dude, nobody's going to buy a giant skeleton horse. Fast forward, we now have horses. We have headless horsemen. Yeah. We have corpsed ones. We have ponies. And then
that comes in later.
Well, what I thought was weird was, and I noticed that it didn't really last, is that they went from the horses to dinosaurs. And that was, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But then they went and said, hold my beer. Here's a 12-foot freaking giant skeleton. And they're like, nobody's going to buy that giant thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then look.
And they couldn't keep them in stock.
Right. I do know that there are I know several UPS drivers, and they are not happy at all. Because that thing is huge. That box is huge. I heard some had to go on trucks, because they went to places where UPS didn't deliver and it had to go on a truck. But it definitely seems like Home Depot is more in it for the haunters. And maybe they're trying to push more display people who just put a few things out into our world, which is awesome. We welcome you. Come on in, you know. But it definitely seems like with the pricing and the types of items that they're really going, you know, with us.
It's definitely.
This is like when I think about like when I first ever saw, like, you know, I'm sure I'm the oldest one here, but like when I was younger, you couldn't just go to any store and buy like Halloween stuff. And when you went into a store and you saw something, you were like, everybody went crazy. Well, we went crazy because we were haunters. I was born a haunter. Yeah. And my dad always loved the little things. You guys remember the bats that you would just hang on the ceiling and they would go like, okay.
Yeah.
So my dad legit had one of those up in his house all year long. You know, my dad just loved those. He thought it was the coolest thing. And then the spiders that would drop and then climb back up. Like, we're talking Kmart, early 80s, even before Spencer started selling anything, you know, and just to see how far and look at the prices. I mean, the prices are really, that's a 6 foot. They're not even like tiny little stupid. I did see the one rocking chair thing was like 4 feet tall, but she's sitting. So maybe that's why it was 4 feet.
Right.
But you know how like Bucky skeletons, like who's 5 foot? Oh, wait a second. I'm 5 feet tall. I mean, no, Bucky's are less than 5 feet. But, you know, like the stuff that doesn't look like it could ever be real. Not that Frankenstein's real, but like, you know, this is stuff that is a good size and it's a good price. And
it's not Spirit. It's not.
And it's not. And Spirit's more expensive than this. I mean, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and it's more expensive because you have to fix it. Where I have several of the Home Depot animatronics and they don't break. and they're actually okay to go outdoors. You know, they're making outdoor stuff. I don't think there's anything at Spirit that says outdoor use. Everything says indoor use.
Probably.
And Home Depot's like, well, let's make some stuff for outdoors. It's plastic, it's resin, it's, you know, it's stone, you know, let's, you know, from what I heard from, and maybe it was Jennifer, but somebody said that the tombstones have weight in them. Like, and they're made with a good material on the outside that they're not gonna fall apart when you try to pick them up. They're not gonna squish. You know, yeah, they are hollow inside, but they're thick and they have weight in the bottom. Where you go to Dollar Tree or Target or Walmart and you're sticking a foam thing with two little metal sticks in the ground, and that thing lasts about 8 hours. You know,
and falling down, and then it pokes through and it's laying on the ground. The styrofoam's blowing away in the wind. Yeah.
And I see they brought back the gargantuan spider. That's been something that's been asked about for years to come back. So like we go back to the fact that I swear they're listening to us.
Yeah.
Did
and people like with the 12-foot skeleton, they've had them up all year,
right?
And they're still holding up, and they're still work.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you I noticed on social media there were some problems, obviously, with the rollout, and I understand that type of a rollout. You roll out hundreds of products to people who are literally been waiting at the keyboard all day. George Actor from Chicago Haunt Builders, just sitting there waiting to buy these things. And so I understand things are going to crash. Things are going to say back order. Have you talked to them about issues since the site went live?
I'm going to email them tomorrow. I wanted to give them a little bit of time to let everything kind of sort itself out.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are, really worried about their orders, but the same thing kind of happened last year. So it's like people just have to be patient. But I will shoot them an email tomorrow just to so that hopefully we can cut down on all the calls to customer service and all the emails to customer service, because I'm sure we're wearing them out.
Right. I did notice that a bunch of people, because Jim from 13 Skeletons here said that his is back ordered. What I have noticed is that some people's will say they're back ordered, and I think they just did that for everybody because the system can't keep up with how many people are buying versus the inventory. So they have to say it's back ordered so they know what to ship out, and to start getting a handle on it once it kind of, calms down. I know some people have already gotten their items that said back ordered.
Yeah.
So if it says back ordered, it may still show up. Some people said it still says back ordered, yet it's in their house right now. So systems like that just can't handle the amount of stuff coming in, which is a good and bad problem. It looks good for marketing, that our system crashed because we're so busy, but at the same time, that's not good. But as far as I can tell, people are getting the items. They're just, it's going to take a little bit of time to go through the system. And I do like how
people are excited, and it's hard to be patient when say like you want it and you want it now.
Right. It is still July, so we have a few weeks.
Like I said last week, it's not Halloween yet. I mean, seriously, I know,
right. But I like how they're doing, like with this scientist guy, they've got it with it's like a whole scene.
Yeah,
so they're not just
cool.
giving you the one prop. And I like that idea because I think that'll help people who have been kind of not scared but apprehensive to go into how I do it, where I'm making a lot of my own stuff. This would allow them, okay, well, I've got the scientist. Now I could probably make some sort of background for it. I can change my garage into a mad lab. I got plenty of beakers and bottles and stuff, so then they can kind of, that might push them into starting to do, to create their stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
They're definitely adding a lot of accent pieces, that people can add to their displays versus, just here's there's a bunch of people who say you can't put air blown things in your yard if you're a haunter, and that's not true, but it is true. But people have sent me the unicorn, the skeleton unicorn inflatable of course about 50 times, and I'll buy it, but it goes in the backyard. You can't see it from the front.
Yeah.
but there's at Home Depot there's something for everyone. So it's
very, very much so.
Yeah.
I think they got an even bigger response than what they expected to.
Yeah. I really think that that like we've said it several times, that that they're listening to us, and they're really gearing their products. I mean, obviously they're looking at what sells and what doesn't. That's why we don't have giant T-Rexes anymore, because they didn't sell that much.
Do you think it's something where they're going to make the actual storefront larger? Do you think they're going to bring in more stuff and stock more stuff? Because it seems like every time I go into Home Depot, it's all there, and then it's all gone, and there's never any like additional. The space doesn't seem to get bigger, and I feel like with all the new stuff that they have out here, it could be bigger. Or do you think they're just going to stick with the online presence because it's working?
Well, certain items were online only, like special releases, like the spider and the dragon.
Yep.
I know those were limited release, online only. I know last year they wouldn't let a lot of the stores sell the 12-foot skeletons. I think they're going to have more in stores, because I think a lot of people are going to come in to see the skeletons.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I went.
In my opinion, I don't know that for a fact, but
Sure.
if I were them, I would think there's going to be a lot of people coming in and would have more stuff out.
I know that like mine specifically had 3 of the 12-foot skeletons in boxes. They had to keep them out in the patio, in the garden area, because they were too big for the rest of the shelves. And when I went in, it was probably 3 days after they set up, and they were tearing down the display skeleton because somebody had bought it. I know people went in that day and bought all the ones they had, and they were literally putting up the skeleton, and somebody bought it as they were putting it up. It didn't even make it all the way up. And I know the box is huge, and I know that for like the dragon, it's big. For the gargantuan spider, I mean, but if they're going to keep selling 12-foot items, then they're going to have to adjust, like Dan's saying, they're going to have to adjust the space. They do give a bigger space for Christmas at some of the stores, but some of them, it's where Christmas goes. And so it is kind of, with the way Home Depot's set up, I mean, maybe they might have to wall in there. I mean, nobody wants to go in the outdoor section in October in some of the states, but, they may have to start adding additional space for this stuff, because it is getting bigger and there are a lot more of it. But it is easier for them to ship it out of a warehouse.
Do you know, Jennifer, when they are releasing like the store stuff? Like, do you have an idea of when we can get to Home Depot without?
I think it was September 6th. I've got an email. But then I've also heard that they might be doing it
before
earlier.
Mine usually pops up about the 25th of August, but I know they have a drop dead date where it has to be up, but they don't have like you can't set it up until this date, or you have to set it up on this date, because the ones around me, I think every single store had it up different days.
Yeah, let me find the email. Hold on one second.
I know that Michael's is starting to get their stuff out. Big Lots is starting to get their. Usually it's Michael's and Big Lots and At Home that have their stuff out in July, and then Home Depot and some of the other stores will start getting theirs. I know Walmart and Target pretty much wait until the beginning of September to put it out, because they get rid of the back to school stuff, and then they put Halloween out. Target's usually the very last. And Target usually has some good stuff, more accent pieces, like they have like a telephone or a lamp or something like that. That's kind of cool. They usually have some skeleton animals and things like that too, that are unique to Target. That is one thing I noticed that wasn't on this, was a lot of different skeleton things. It was just the 12-foot skeleton and the regular size, and then the one with the pumpkin head. But I'm sure they'll have different little animals at the store, and probably online too.
And every store will be totally set by the week of August 23rd. So I've got to go back and update my group.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Canada will be available online starting August 9th. And then don't remember the exact date it was hitting the stores in Canada.
Okay.
So yeah, every store should be set up by the week of August 23rd. So yeah, they're going a little bit earlier.
That's the day I get back from camping. Guess where
Oh,
I'm going?
no.
I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna drive the RV right to Home Depot.
There you go.
I got all the
How many
All the
skeletons can you put in there?
Oh, I could put several 12-foot skeletons in there.
Nice.
Take them out of the box, put them in a
Right?
Christmas tree bag, and you're good to go.
Just start throwing bones into the RV.
The old RV.
That'll look great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, they definitely I love the stuff they came out with. It runs the gamut. I like that they did go kind of with the pumpkin theme this year. I noticed they have a bunch of rotten pumpkin themes. But they got this clown guy. I know that went a couple years ago, and a lot of people bought that Jack in the Box for their front porch and stuff. But like the King of the Underworld, that's just a random theme, so they're not going with like a straight theme and everything's that. They kind of did that in the past couple years. They've kind of went with sort of a theme, and then the next year they changed it. But Dan's gonna get this.
Oh, definitely put
Dan's
it right in the front yard.
That's gonna be Dan's whole Halloween display right there.
Yes, right there.
Yep, he's done. He's done. It's right there.
Which Sanderson sister are you dressing up as, Dan?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with. Oh gosh, I don't even know.
You don't even know their names, do you?
No, I'm trying to.
It's so hard to choose.
There you go. You can her right there.
No,
There
which
you go.
one, I'm trying to think of which one I would relate to.
You mean Bette Midler? Right, sure.
Winnie. That's Winnie.
I don't know. I might have to go with Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know.
Because she's sexy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what
I
it
can
is.
see myself naked.
That's why. If I could be a female witch, I would pick Sarah Jessica Parker.
Classic.
So, Jennifer, before we let you go, do you actually? I know I asked you this in our message, but it was wrought with all the other stuff. Do you run your own home display at your house or a haunt?
I have a display. I have a display at my home.
Okay, and you are in?
I'm in Bellevue, Tennessee, which is part of Nashville.
Awesome. What's the name of your display? Do you have a name for it?
I don't have a name for it. I know.
I think what you need to do, you need to ask the people in your group, like put up a picture of your haunt and be like, name it.
Definitely.
And I'll give you a toe off the 12-foot skeleton that I own.
No.
A picture of the toe.
Yeah, a picture of a toe.
Yeah. I'll give you the box.
There you go. Somebody, I don't know who this is because I'm not on the Facebook side. It takes 2 beers and 1 shot of whiskey to burn the 12-foot box. So, also you could give it to a roommate or something. If somebody lives at your house, that doesn't have a home and lives in your RV, maybe you could give them the box instead.
Well, we were joking around about the fact it was like between Christmas and Halloween, I'm going to end up living outside in all these boxes while all the props and everything are inside.
Nice. Oh yeah,
It takes a lot of space.
Because there's no way you're putting the 12-foot skeleton back in that box. That is like a tent. You're never putting it back in the bag. I'm sorry.
No, everybody bought 9-foot Christmas tree bags and put them in those.
Oh,
that's very smart.
That is a great idea.
One thing I did notice about the by the way, that I know who that is. I know that's Nate. Nate Dingman runs House of Hell out there in Murfreesboro. So if you're but he only does it Halloween night, so Jennifer's busy that night too.
Yeah.
But I did notice that the one thing I'm a little worried about with the Inferno is with the 12-foot skeleton, the ribs were passed through. So you could see through it. You could put your hand through it and everything. With this, they filled in the body. And I think people who have wind issues and there's a little more to the body itself, people are going to need to really make sure they hold this thing down. I know that this stand did nothing for everybody. Everybody had to put something else in the ground to hold that thing up.
Trampoline stick.
Oh, trampoline stick.
Trampoline stick. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good to know. But yeah, with them closing in the body, I think that people are going to need to, definitely make sure they look into how they're going to keep it upright, because nobody wants that. Because I can see if that thing falls down, I think it might get more injuries than the 12-foot skeleton did for the few that fell. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there were several that took a tumble last year, and some were okay, some were not.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, that is a problem, that you kind of got to take on your own. So, so yeah, but I cannot wait to see all the pictures. Us at the Halloween or the Home Haunter Awards are currently debating on what we're going to do for the award, because last year we had the 12-foot skeleton award. We may just make it the 12-foot prop award or something. So we will look at options on that. I even suggested just a Home Depot award.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say that. I was going to say, like, yeah. So many options
could happen right there.
Right. The idea behind it was that we were going to tell people.
I know a couple people.
See,
Right?
see, there we might need to
Home
talk.
Depot
We might need to talk. That the idea behind the 12-foot skeleton category was going to morph into a store-bought category. So you buy something from a store. What did you do with it? Not that you just bought it and put it in your yard. Did you build a scene around it? What did you do with the actual prop? And so we could kind of tweak that with the 12-foot skeleton and just be like, yes, you have to own the 12-foot skeleton or the Inferno pumpkin, but what did you do with it? Did you build a scene around it, a photo op, animate it, things like that? So we'll see what we come up with, but we'll be in touch, Jennifer.
Awesome. Well,
Sounds good.
thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming on tonight. Really appreciate the intel and the inside scoop on what is going on with Home Depot. And then for everybody that's watching, it is, what's the name of it? It's the
Halloween Decorators Club.
Thank you.
The Halloween Decorating Club, and then the 12-foot Skeleton Halloween Club.
Got it. And those are on Facebook only, exclusively?
Just on Facebook.
Got it. All right. Well, go check it out, guys. And then
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you. All right, Dan.
Yes.
Hey, the Bucks are on.
I know. I got
Hey.
Bucks and
Go.
6.
Go watch your Bucks.
He didn't know that. He had no idea.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much, Jennifer.
Take care, guys. Have a
Take
great
care.
night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.